Pope Francis has reiterated his call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza in his Easter Sunday message. Pope Francis expressed concern over what he described as a worrying rise in anti-Semitism across the globe, while also denouncing the ongoing conflict in Gaza and once again urging for a ceasefire. Francis, who has been limiting his workload on doctor's orders, did not preside over the Vatican's Easter Mass, but appeared at the end of the event for a twice-yearly blessing and message known as the Urbi et Orbi to the city and the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said he has instructed the military to intensify pressure on Hamas. Netanyahu said that while war came with a heavy price, Israel had no choice but to continue fighting for our very existence until victory. Netanyahu's comments came after Hamas rejected an Israeli proposal for another temporary truce, instead demanding a deal to end the war in exchange for the release of detainees. Hamas has said that the fate of the Israeli-American detainee Eden Alexander was unknown after the group found one of the guards assigned to him been killed. President Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff told reporters at the White House in March that gaining the release of Alexander, believed to be the last living American detainee held by Hamas in Gaza, was a top priority. The release of Alexander was at the center of talks held between Hamas leaders and U.S. detainee negotiator Adam Bowler last month. Hamas released 38 detainees under a brief ceasefire that began on January the 19th. Israeli settlers have stormed the Aqsa Mosque compound, Islam's third holiest site in the occupied East Jerusalem. The settlers are reported to have performed religious rituals under the protection of Israeli forces. Under Jerusalem's status quo arrangements, non-Muslims are not allowed to worship at the compound. Israeli settlers have stormed Palestinian land in Khirbet el-Rakiz in El Khalil Governorate in the occupied West Bank. Palestinian sources reported that settlers attacked a bus with stones in the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood in occupied East Jerusalem, causing its windows to shatter. The Palestinian news agency, quoting local sources, also said settlers stole 2 water tanks used for livestock in the northern Jordan Valley in the West Bank. And dozens of protesters have clashed with police in a central Israeli community where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was expected to visit. Demonstrators voiced their anger at his vow to continue the war with Hamas, demanding an end to the war and the release of the remaining 59 detainees held in Gaza. Tensions flared as protesters pushed against police barricades, with some attempting to breach a makeshift gate. The demonstrators carried signs and chanted slogans, accusing Netanyahu of prolonging a war they believe has achieved nothing but destruction. Lebanon's health ministry has confirmed that at least 4 have been killed in the Israeli drone strike in Qawsariyat el-Sayed. The health ministry said in a statement that the strike targeted a vehicle located inland between the southern cities of Sidon and Tyre. Israel has continued to conduct regular strikes in Lebanon despite a November 27th ceasefire that sought to halt more than a year of hostilities, including 2 months of all-out war between Israel and Hezbollah. The Lebanese army has arrested several individuals who were preparing to launch rockets towards Israel following ongoing investigations into previous attacks from southern Lebanon. According to a statement by the army, a raid in the Sidon Zahrani area uncovered rockets and launchers. The suspects are now under investigation, with the seized weapons handed over to the relevant authorities.